Okay, this lesson is going to cover a simple but very important part of you starting your own social media marketing agency. What do you name your company? People ask me this all the time, logos, we're going to get into that, how to form your LLC, all that. Let me just say, in a simple video, one thing I recommend you do, kind of come up with a brand name as opposed to, and this is the number one mistake I see people doing businesses, don't name the business after yourself. Don't call it, I wouldn't call it a Tai Lopez Social Media Marketing Agency. Why? Well, if you ever want to sell the business, right, you're going to sell it to another company. Well, that company knows that you're leaving when you sell it to them, but it still has your name attached. So that means either they won't buy it from you or they'll pay less money. And so I recommend you come up with more of a branded name around an angle. And when you watch the other videos, we have another video on like how to find your niche. So let's say your niche is you're going to go after cosmetic surgeons, or you're going to go after dentists, or you're going to go after pizza restaurants, pizza stores. I recommend you build your brand around that niche. Now, it might take you a little while to know that niche, but because you might need to experiment a little bit. You can always change the name of the company, especially at the beginning. So don't feel like once you pick a name, it's locked in forever. I'll show you how you can make your LLC a generic name. So your LLC can be like, like for me, it can be like my initials or something, Holdings. So it could be, TL Holdings or whatever you want to name. The LLC name is not necessarily the name the public has to see. You can do something called a DBA. DBA stands for doing business as. And you can change that over time. You can add that to the LLC. So I would pick a name in that niche you think you're going to pursue. So if I was going to go after cosmetic surgeons, I would call it like, cosmetic surgery client generator or something like that, or a marketing agency. And you don't have to have the word agency in it either. But I'm a big believer in names that have the benefit in it. I really think that for the most part, people are very busy. They don't have time to figure out what you do. If your title and the name of your business directly conveys the message to them, you've already won half the battle. So if they're distracted, if you walk in and talk to a cosmetic surgeon, they're distracted, they see, the name, it already resonates with them. Remember, when you're acquiring customers, when you're persuading people to pay you, because you're going to have to be persuasive, right? And I'm going to show you how to do that. You must remember that people, this one principle, and this relates to naming, people want to know what you will do for them, the benefit to them. And that's the most important thing. So the name, can be cosmetic surgery, moreclients.com. As dumb as that name, and I wouldn't really use that name, but if your website is that, guess what? Every cosmetic surgeon that recommends his friend who's a cosmetic surgeon, when they go to that website, you're reinforcing the benefit to them. So get a name that has a benefit. That's principle number two. Principle number one, remember, was don't use your own name in it. Principle number three is you can change it over time. Principle number four is your LLC that I'm going to show you how to form. Depending on where you live, if you're outside the U.S., you can use, in Sweden, they call them AS companies. In Norway, AB companies. In UK, they're limited. You can work with a lawyer if you're not from America on what type. But most corporations, you can have a general, bland, generic holding name, and then you can have a DBA, doing business as, a specific name that has a benefit for your customers. So, and remember, you can end up with more than one website. So if you have an agency and it's called let's say my LLC is called the TL Holdings LLC. And then I have doing business as, one of them could be cosmetic surgery, more clients. And if I want to get into pizza stores, it could be like pizzeriaclientmagnet.com. You can end up doing that too. There's no problem with that. For the most part, especially in the United States, you have tremendous freedom in forming new little side projects and new LLCs. But the principle that you want to always be doing in your name is conveying the benefit, and that'll make it so much easier for you to get paying customers. Just think about if you were a cosmetic surgeon, somebody walks in your door and they have a generic name like Social Media Marketing Agency. Well, they go, I'm a cosmetic surgeon. What does that have to do with me? But if the title of your business card and your website is, cosmetic surgeon, more clients.com, well, they instantly know they want more customers. The average cosmetic surgeon gets paid 10, 20 grand per surgery. So if you bring them one client and you charge them $1,000, they made 10 grand, 20 grand profit. So benefits in the name for the most part, unless you're building, a Coca-Cola brand, but that takes millions of dollars and decades to build for the most part, to build big brands. So for now, this is a business that we want to build nice side income or full-time income that's, you don't need a ton of employees, ton of inventory, ton of, fixed expenses like offices and all that stuff. So there you go. Leave a comment below. We'll have a little kind of homework as you work through this to get your certification. Start just brainstorming some names that you think might be good. And there's some other questions below. Okay? So see you on the next lesson.